My name is Jess Sheppard. I am the Assistant Head of Academics, and I've been at RLC since 2007. I love that it is small. I love that it is not in a large city. Our academic program combines what you would expect of a traditional high school academic program, but with immersive learning opportunities with our natural environments. The things we do in life don't exist in silos that start with a bell and end with a bell, so the more that we can make our learning replicate what we actually do in life, the more useful that learning is going to be to us in our lives. A term course is an intensive 4 weeks where students earn a single credit. So they can spend all day deep diving into a single subject area, doing field trips, connecting very directly to the subject matter that they're learning. And there's an opportunity to do some flow state learning there. It doesn't get cut off when an hour's over or it's break time or it's time to move on to the next subject. Flow state learning is when you are immersed or engaged enough in what you're doing that you kind of tune everything else out, and that learning happens very naturally. There's often not so much of a sense of time in a flow state. You might be working at something for hours and it feels to you like you've been there for 15 minutes because you're so engrossed in what it is that you're doing. Discovery Week is 5 days where students basically are completing a project of their choice. It doesn't have to be directly connected to a course or a subject area that they've studied. And they are deep diving into that. So throughout the year, they come up with a plan, they figure out what they want to do, what they need in order to do it, materials, kind of put the groundwork in place. And then Discovery Week is just 5 days to get your hands dirty and try to do that thing. We've had students try to build metal forges out of natural materials on campus. And that was one of those learning through failure opportunities because they were not able to successfully get that forge hot enough to work with. And we had another student inspired by that the next year actually have access to a metal forge, and he created his own knife. But those sorts of things within a traditional classroom or curriculum are probably not what you would do in most high schools. I think things like the Discovery Week, for instance, when we had voice and choice over projects in high school, it was basically what book are you going to read, or are you going to do a presentation or some other sort of more creative format to share your learning. It was never really that much of an opportunity for agency over the things that we were actually learning. And just being able to take what you're doing out into the environment you're in, which is something we do at RLC a lot. That's something that I wish we had more of a chance to do in high school. We were usually just sitting in a room with 4 walls most of the time. We weren't integrating necessarily with the wider community or even with other students in classes beyond the 4 walls we were within. I think the ideal Rosseau Lake College student is somebody who is adaptable, somebody who is open to trying new things, trying different things, kind of putting themselves out there and taking risks. And I don't mean that physically, but I mean that in the sense of just being willing to step beyond maybe what they expect school to be and how they expect students to behave, and to do something more and really get involved in this place and all of the different aspects of schooling, whether it's classroom-based or not, that we have to offer here.